damn phones. Babylons can't crack the code.
This is B-MoneyTrading. I'm going to make this video quick and short. It is late and I'm ready to get in bed. But the video I recorded earlier today, something went wrong with the recording and I had to get to work, so I didn't have time to fix it. So this is an update. So today I sold my USO shares. I had 10 shares. So I took a little over $5 loss on it. And basically I sold it because I saw an opportunity with Apple, and so I was trying to raise capital to take this trade, and so I went ahead and sold that. It was moving slow, and it just wasn't doing a whole lot. It wasn't performing the way I'd expected that trade to do, so I just decided it was worth going ahead and just taking a a little over $5 loss and moving on. And so I did that, and with that I still was short 65 bucks in order to buy Apple. So I still needed $65 more after selling that to have enough capital to buy Apple. So I added 65 to my account. I wasn't planning on doing it, but the trade, I just saw too much of an opportunity and I didn't want to let it go to waste. So, and plus, I believe that with this trade I would make back that 5 and then some. So I ended up buying into Apple. My average was 251 cents a share. I bought one share. I'm up on the trade. Almost $1.50, which isn't a lot, but the potential for this trade was my plan on this trade was that I was risking $10 with a high probability of making $20 plus on this trade. So that wasn't a bad deal. It was worth the risk for me. It was a good deal that I felt like getting in on. And so with that said, I ended the day up. The computer's running super slow. Come on, dude. So I ended the day up $23, almost 1.5%, a little under. And then after hours we had a spike, and so made a little over $14 in that. So total with today and after hours, I ended the day up 2.25%, which is good. But more importantly is that we just see consistent growth, and looking back from a week from today, you can see that's just been consistent growth. There's been some pullbacks, up and then it pulls back, but the whole deal is that we're taking such small position size that I don't have to worry about taking any big losses or getting shaken out of the trade. Now there is a certain point in each trade that I'm only willing to lose up to a certain amount before I'm getting out and saying, okay, it's not performing how I thought it would, it's not doing what I thought it would do, it's not even remotely acting how I believe it would. So it's best to go ahead and cut losses now so that I can get into another opportunity. Once I see one come along, then I can hop in and have a better potential to make that money back and hopefully be in profit on top of it. And so you can see that for the past week I'm up $136.64, which is 8.81%. And I keep reiterating, focus on the percent, not the money, because as this grows, the percent, if this grows as it grows and gets to 2,000 and then 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, the is 8.81% will be a lot more cash than what it is now, because we're doing a percent, based on the account. And so, for example, if this was $25,000, then 5% of $25,000 is $1,250. Now, could you imagine making that in 1 week? And that's just, for starters. Now there are going to be some losses and some drawbacks, But overall, you can just see the consistent growth, and that's what we're looking for now. It did kind of come back down here for a little bit, and now it's back up. We got the elections tomorrow, I believe. I don't know how they're going to perform tomorrow, but I believe that the day after tomorrow, the 8th, that the market will start to show more bullish, and my account will continue to grow as it has been. And I may be looking to take profit on one or two of the stocks I have. I don't know. I'm looking to see how it goes. It looks like the weed stocks did good today. TQQ is still not performing to my expectation, but I know there's still a lot of potential there. That's why I'm still holding on to it. And same for IQ. It's still not performing how I thought it would, but it's doing better. IBM had some news come out that there was some insider buying. The CEO bought 999K worth of stock, and then I think the two other directors bought around 200K or so of stock, and so it's starting to turn back around. And I'll go more in depth on the charts, but my throat's starting to bother me, and I need to get to bed so that I can get up in the morning and do another video for y'all and see how and where we're at. Also, I'm looking at possibly doing like a things I recommend for people new starting to learn how to trade. Things that you should probably know right off the start. Just kind of like a starting place, a good place to start learning. Because I know it can be overwhelming with all these things, all these people just throwing stuff at you left and right, that it's hard to stay focused on what do I need to know now for starters and build upon it. And so basically these are things that I would recommend for laying a foundation on getting on the journey of becoming a good trader. And so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Keep in mind, by all means, I'm no guru or professional trader, but hopefully by you watching these videos, it helps generate trade ideas for you and let you kind of see the things that I'm looking at. Me personally, I'll watch other traders as well on YouTube to help kind of generate trade ideas and get an understanding of what's going on in the market. I watch The Street with Jim Cramer. They post a thing on YouTube. I watch documentaries on the stock market. I watch I listen to audiobook. I listen to The Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. I listen to that while I'm at work on YouTube. And then there's a lot of things out there, that tools out there to help you kind of get a better understanding. And sometimes taking in all that knowledge can kind of bog you down to kind of confuse you. And so I try to kind of limit it little by little and not just cram it all in at once, but kind of balance, whatever it is I'm reading or watching and learning as far as the stock market. And for me, I continue to try to grow my knowledge, and if there's any opportunities along the way, I've looked for mentors. I've asked people to mentor me. I did have one mentor for a short time. He was a trader for Citibank, I believe, but he traded commodities. So any type of it was helpful, but how things went, it just didn't pan out. And so I hope that down the road I can find another mentor, someone that can really help me to improve my trading. There's always room for improvement, and the better trader I become each day, that's all I can strive for. And so some people would call this technique the hold and wait technique, buy and hold, and you can call it that, but for me, that's basically everything. Every technique in trading. You buy and you hold. Now, depending on how long you hold for is really the question. And so for me, like, the reason I'm buying the stocks that I buy is because I see certain things on the chart and opportunities and the probability and potential for it to go up, and that the risk is fairly low compared to the reward for taking the trade. And as you can see, I'm no, I mean, I'll tell you this, I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna wrap it up and go to bed. So I get on Facebook and I look at these trading groups and stuff like that, and I see people post these gains, and like this one guy this past week, he'd made, I think it was like $600 or something. And so then I started getting that funny idea in my head that, man, like, maybe I should go back to trading like that, where I'm just dumping my whole account into one stock. Because, there were days, I talked about, I think in previous videos, that I used to trade like that, and I was making, in 1 week, 300, 400, 500 bucks on consistent basis for a few weeks. I would have a good run here and there for 2 or 3 weeks, and then eventually I'd do one trade, and it would just overnight, I'd have to hold it overnight. Couldn't, because I'm limited on the day trade since I went over 25k, and then I'd wake up the next day and I'd be down a whole lot, and instead of just taking the loss, I would just hold it, and then it would just get so bad and so painful that I'd be forced to sell. And so I think going through all that and taking big losses as well as big gains, it's helped mature me as a trader. Not to say that I have the market cornered on how to trade and how to, make it big, because obviously my account is not that big, but the whole thing I continue to stride upon you is that it's consistently growing and going up. And so if you do watch these videos, I'm not asking for you to sit here and watch them from start to finish, but just check in every once in a while. If you see, check and see what my account's at, and then, the next day you look and it's either up or down, and then, you keep looking each day, just checking in, and then you see, a month from now that it's, I'm up a whole lot of money overall for the month, then maybe you'd be more inclined to say, okay, maybe I should start watching him, and maybe the ideas that he is trading and the stocks he's looking at, that maybe it can help me generate some ideas, And so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Hopefully that somebody that's watched this is learning something from it, or it's helping them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it helps me with my trading, because like I said, I was, kind of envious watching, this one guy on his posting on Facebook and how he was up for the week, a few $100, and I'm only, up $130 something for the week, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and I told her, I was like, I kind of want to go back to trading like that, but then I know where it always ends, because the amount of risk and exposure that I'm opening myself up to is just way too much. That the whole point of this is that I diversify to limit my risk, so that any one of these trades that they go against me is not going to blow up my account. It may put a nice little dent in it, but nothing that can't be pushed right back out, within, a few days, maybe a week tops, depending on how bad I'll let it go against me. But as you can see, I took a loss on AMD a few weeks ago. Well, I guess not a few weeks ago, I guess like, a week ago? I have to look and see. I could pull it up, but I said I was going to keep this short, and now it's starting to get long, this video. So anyhow, I took a loss on AMD, and then today I sold USO and took a loss on it in order to get enough capital to buy a share of Apple, which I still had to add $65 to the account in order to do so. So with that said, though, back to the whole point of all this is that you see that it's just consistently growing, each day, and it's up and down, but more up than down. And so today I had a good day. I expect here tomorrow and the next day that we should see some really pretty good returns. So, and there may be an opportunity to go ahead and sell in some of these. I just have to look at the charts on each one and see where I believe the next point of resistance is. And then my plan is, as I look at the next point of resistance, put a stop loss a certain length below where it's at, so that, worst case scenario, I'm at work and it sells. If it drops, it sells it, and I'll lock in the profits, and I can look at getting into it a later date, or I can look for another opportunity, another stock to trade. So with that said, I'm gonna go and wrap it up. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support, and as we slowly grow this account, we will slowly grow this channel. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.